All right, we're going to chat to Okoyemi Oguntade, who is a senior investment officer at Financial Derivatives Company, for a few minutes about the world of oil. Oil prices have been recovering, but early today, perhaps just about the time you're in bed, that's very early today, about 4:04 hours GMT, the U.S. Western Texas Intermediate, the WTI fell about 5 cents to 41.47. Oh, sorry, 41.47. Yes, the same for the Brent, down by 5 cents. So nothing to worry about. So the key question is, should we have a party? Okoyemi, thank you very much for coming. That's the question. Should we roll out the drums?
Well, oil prices are going up, which is good news, but the direction of oil prices at this point is still dependent on the outcome of the OPEC meeting in April. So until when we see what decision they reach in April, we can't necessarily say that the trend we're seeing right now is going to maintain an upward trend in the short term. But for now, we should be excited, but we should still wait for the outcome of the OPEC meeting.
Should I rephrase that question?
You probably should.
Is the storm over in the oil sector?
Well, if you're looking at production levels are still very high. We still have supply, which is in excess of demand. And OPEC's monthly report is reporting that they expect demand growth to slow down by 700,000 barrels a day. Meanwhile, the IEA is expecting that there will be a 1.2 million barrels a day for demand this year. So if we're looking at fundamentals, there's still excess supply over demand. So the storm is definitely not over, given the fact that our fundamentals are still the same. The
storm's not yet over, and we shouldn't have a party. So do you agree, therefore? This was the statement from the OPEC Secretary General Abdullah El Badri yesterday, when he says in Vienna that he expects crude oil to enjoy a moderate bounce rather than reaching high levels. In other words, it's like a basketball, just dunk it around a little bit, but you don't throw it into the net yet. It's not that high.
Yes, that's what we're seeing in the energy market right now. I mean, we're enjoying a moderate bounce. We aren't seeing a spike like we saw in our inflation figures. We're just enjoying a moderate bounce. So I definitely agree with the statement. That's what we're seeing right now in the market. And a spike would only happen if we see a change in our demand growth.
Yes. So where does Nigeria fit into all of this? Of course, Nigeria will be part of the 15 or 16 countries attending the meeting in April. Definitely we're going to be there April the 17th. So what do you think the prospect looks like for us? Do you think we'll be able to hold our 2.2 million barrels position in April? Do you think we have some accretion that will help us to mitigate and meet our obligations under the budget 2016?
Well, looking at Nigeria's case, first of all, we have a target of 2.2 million barrels, like you rightly mentioned, but we are currently producing at 1.75. That's what our production in February was, 1.75 million barrels a day, which is below our target. And it always makes me wonder that if Nigeria is agreeing to freeze production, at what level are we agreeing to freeze production? Is it at the level we're currently producing, or the 2.2 million barrels target that we have in our budget? Because we certainly need that 2.2 million to meet our some of the expenses in our budget, the expenditures in our budget. So for Nigeria, in Nigeria's case, I mean, oil prices at 41 is good, and it's above the initial budget benchmark price of $38, but our production levels are still very low, and we need to do something about that. Even looking at the previous month, Nigeria, Iraq, and United Arab Emirates are Nigeria was among one of the countries that had a decline in production because of pipeline outages that we saw. And then even looking at what's going on in Rivers State currently with the rerun elections, it makes us wonder if Nigeria is going to be able to meet that target in the short term. We're already at the end of the first quarter of 2016, and we are nowhere near our target.
So in other words, the meeting in Doha next month, just about 4 weeks from now, or less than that, less than 30 days from now, will be a little bit very tenuous for Nigeria, as you rightly put it. What would be the OPEC's decision as to say, let us peg outputs among member states? Do you think Nigeria will agree? Do you think President Buhari will agree that Nigeria should be pegged at 1.5, 1.7 rather than a 2.2 target? Where do you think OPEC will stick the dot?
For Nigeria, well, I believe Nigeria should fight for 2.2 because we do need the oil revenue.
Even
and
though we're
sticking
producing
less than that, even though we're producing less than that. So I don't think Nigeria should take it in at 1.7, which is stick for.
So the meeting is not likely going to be a tea party.
No, it's definitely not. And another thing to consider is, one thing you should notice about cartels, even though they come together to make a decision, in the short term, there might be a couple of members that would go against the decision made.
And nobody's sure whether Iran is coming in.
Exactly.
And if Iran comes to that meeting, you would expect some hard knocks.
Yes.
Most likely?
If Iran comes into the meeting, I would
Yes.
be very surprised if they do, and if they do agree to cut down on.
You'll be surprised or you'll be scared?
Will I be scared? No, I wouldn't be scared. I'll be surprised.
If Tehran attends.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Do have a great day.
You
we
too.
appreciate that. Okoyemi Oguntade, Senior Investment Analyst at Financial Derivatives Company. When we come back, there's a lot to report about the state of the economy, business, and the markets. But there's a gentleman who's coming up next in the program to talk about the role of the media in reporting the depressed economy. How should we do the job? And how well are we doing it? That's coming next.